Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Friday. We have got to the end nearly of another working week. One transfer done for Arsenal this week. Obviously earlier on was the arrival of Fabian Vieira. Nothing has followed yet. We're sort of building up, obviously. We know what's going on with Jesus, Rafinha. Bit of a waiting game where those two has been for a while, certainly with Jesus, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we're getting towards the end of that one. We'll have to wait and see how the next few days progresses. Expecting a departure very, very soon, which is Daniel Ballard, young defender. I'll speak about that a little bit later on in the video, but just wanted to start today talking about William Saliba. Rumours over in France again that Marseille are still trying to sign William Saliba and are seeing if they can convince Arsenal into doing a deal. I just wanted to talk about Saliba because I think it's quite an interesting one. I think there's so many things that you kind of want to go right for Arsenal this summer. I'm actually doing a piece on it for Goal that's going to go live at some point in the next few days, sort of looking at what needs to happen for Arsenal to have a kind of dream summer, really, to get to the end of the window or to get to the start of the new season and be in really good shape. What needs to happen, and things like obviously signing Jesus, getting rid of certain players, but Saliba having a really good pre-season I think is really, really key to that, because there's going to be a lot of spotlight on Saliba when he does return. It's not going to be on Monday when the rest of the team come back, where a lot of the team come back, because obviously Saliba was involved during the summer with internationals with France, so he gets a little bit of extra time off like all the internationals in the Arsenal squad. So I think he won't be around for the trip to Germany and the game against Nuremberg, and then he'll come back after that and be ready like the rest of the international players to go off to the US for the US tour. And I just think it's going to be such an intriguing part of the summer, William Saliba, for Arsenal and how he performs. And there's going to be a lot of spotlight on him because, look, we've not seen him in an Arsenal show. I think we've seen him once. It was against MK Dons, wasn't it? And obviously he's played a couple of under-23s games while he was here. But in terms of the Arsenal first team, we've just not seen him, not in a real proper competitive match. And this summer, we're finally going to get to see that. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he performs, how he copes with the pressure, because he is going to be under a lot of pressure. I know it's pre-season, but just the fact that everyone's going to be watching him, because we've all built up for so long to get to this moment, to see Saliba, to see what he's like. And he's going to have to deal with that. And I know, it sounds silly to say, what pressure? It's a pre-season game. And, this is a player who's played for Marseille last season in an absolute hotbed of an atmosphere and really intense crowds there, and he's played as a fully fledged France international now, but I still think there is definitely going to be pressure on him this summer, because he will want to perform well. He will want to show everyone how good a player he is, and show everyone that Arsenal were wrong to not really give him an opportunity these last couple of years. And so it's going to be really intriguing to see how he gets on, and I think if he can have a really strong pre-season, it's going to be such a big thing for Arsenal and for Arteta. Just for purely the fact that it's going to mean defensively their options are going to look an awful lot stronger next season, because when you got obviously Gabriel Ben White, but then if you've got a Saliba who looks like he is well up for it and playing well and settled, and you add sort of Rob Holding into the mix as well as a four, that's suddenly that's four very good centre back options for Arsenal. So Saliba can come in and can hit the ground running and really show how good he is. And I think, Arsenal, they're going to look incredibly strong. It is that whole cliche of like a new signing. Obviously it's not, because he signed 3 years ago. We've just had to wait an awful long time. But the fact that he has just been so out of the picture, coming back in now, far more rounded player than he was when he left. It will basically be it will feel like a new signing, because it's suddenly a player who you've not had available before right there, and he's a full international, and so it will feel like a new signing. And I just think it's going to be so important that he has a very good, strong pre-season, because it's going to put pressure on Mikel Arteta, which is what you want. It's going to put pressure on Gabriel and Ben White, which is what you want, and it's going to take the pressure off Saliba a little bit, and they're going to put the pressure elsewhere, because people, if he plays well, people are going to see it and think, he looks ready. He is ready for this team. And it's just a really intriguing part of the summer. And these rumours about Marseille, I can't see it unless Arsenal have a massive change of heart. Unless Marseille suddenly come in with a bid that is huge, which financially, I just don't see Marseille doing, even though they've got Champions League football next season. I can't see a way Marseille would be able to sign him, because you look at where Saliba is, you look at his age, you look at his performances last season. Arsenal, even if they were willing to let him go, which obviously they say they're not, but you never know. You can never take everything the football clubs say truthfully, because everyone's got a price. But it'd be big money. He's still got 2 years left on his contract. He's a fully fledged international now. He's League One Young Player of the Year. You're talking big money, and I just can't see Marseille being able to afford that and doing what else they want to do in the summer transfer window. So they can continue to test the water all they want, but I'd be very, very surprised if we see any sort of thing happen with this Marseille stuff. Certainly, unless he comes in, doesn't get any sort of chance in pre-season, and it looks very clear that Arteta still doesn't fancy him, then maybe something can happen at the end of the window. But it just, from what Arteta's saying, from what Saliba himself has been saying, from what Arsenal have always maintained, it just feels like this is the summer we're finally going to get Saliba, and finally going to get to see him properly perform and show what he's good about, show that he's good enough. And I can't wait. I'm really, really intrigued by the whole thing. Let me know what you guys think. And how much are you looking forward to seeing Saliba finally play in an Arsenal shirt this summer? Do you think he can really put pressure on Ben White and Gabriel and force his way into the starting 11 earlier on in the season? Let me know what you think. Always intrigued to see what you guys have to say. Okay, so from one centre back to another, and the other is Daniel Ballard, who is now very, very close to leaving Arsenal. Yet to play like Saliba, yet to play a single competitive minute for Arsenal. He's been here a long time. His story is a brilliant one, Daniel Ballard. I interviewed him not too long ago, and it's an incredible that he's got incredible character. The way he's fought back from real sort of adversity, bad injuries. Twice he was pretty much released by Arsenal. Twice he battled back to save himself and get himself new contracts. He's gone out on loan the last couple of seasons, did really well at Blackpool. Then last season was brilliant at Millwall, and now he's got himself a really good move to Burnley. That's going to be a permanent move. It was agreed on Wednesday. Just going through the sort of final bits of it now. Medical, I believe, could well be today, and they're looking to finalise that thing. I don't know the full transfer fee yet. I haven't been able to get that out of anyone, and Arsenal will announce it as what they always do, the undisclosed fee. I've seen stuff like 2.5 million put down. I don't know if that's the case or not, and I know even if it is, that does seem very low to me. But if it is, there's definitely going to be certain clauses that could see that rise higher. Arsenal do have a sell-on clause included in that deal as well. They also have a matching rights clause included in that deal, so that if anyone came in and bid for him in the future, Arsenal would have the opportunity to match that bid and try and bring him back to the club. They do rate Daniel Ballard highly. It's just now they don't really see, and it's perfectly fair. They look at him and think he's young. He needs to really move on in his career now. He's a fully fledged international in Northern Ireland, done very, very well there. He's shown he can be very good in the Championship. He just needs to move on and start playing regularly now. When you've got Ben White, Gabriel, William Saliba, Rob Holding in front of you, you're just not going to get the opportunities at Arsenal. So you don't want to hold these players back. It just feels like it's the right time to let him go. But the fact that Arsenal, can see he's a good player and they want this opportunity to have a matching rights clause included in the deal says exactly what they think of him. And I think we're going to see more and more in this future. Like Daniel, I think this is going to be held up as a sort of poster boy of Arsenal's, the way they approach loans now. They want to send these players out on loan, and even if they don't come back and make it at Arsenal, they want to give them, it's kind of putting them in the shop window. And sorry, you probably hear the drilling going on now. This is what I warned you about in my last video. My neighbours basically redoing the whole of the bottom of their house, so you're going to have to put up with it, I'm afraid. So yeah, and Arsenal absolutely rate Daniel Ballard, and that's why they wanted this matching rights clause, including the deal. And it feels right to let him go at this point. If it is 2.5 million, I think that's very low. I have to say, when you look at what he did last season in the Championship, you look at his age, you look at the fact he's an international. It feels low to me. When you look at what other clubs could get, you kind of look at Liverpool and think if Daniel Ballard played for Liverpool, they'd probably end up getting 10 million for it. But I don't know what the fee is. So, I've seen, like you guys have seen, probably 2.5 million mooted, but I just don't know if that's correct or not. So it's tough to really give a proper opinion on it because we don't know the actual proper ins and outs yet of exactly what it is. But in terms of the player himself, I feel like it's a great move. the fact Vincent Kompany's there is absolutely key to him, because there's lots of clubs interested, and there are a couple in Serie A that were trying to get him as well. It got down to sort of 2 clubs, both in the Championship, who are really going for him. He chose Burnley, and Vincent Kompany being there was a massive part of that. Why wouldn't a young centre-back want to go and learn under Vincent Kompany? And Kompany and Arteta obviously have a very good relationship from Manchester City, and I believe that was pretty key to it all as well. And he'll go with the best of, with Arsenal wishing him good luck. So although he's a player you probably haven't seen too much of, very talented player, and one to definitely keep an eye on, because I think there's some big things to come for Daniel Ballard. Okay, before I go, I did touch on this yesterday, and I just wanted to talk about it a little bit more, because it's Nuno Tavares, who obviously had been interested in Atlanta. Atlanta had spoken publicly about him. Marseille are now in for him as well, according to David Ornstein and other reports. And it's just really interesting. This kind of goes with what I was saying yesterday, of although we all saw Tavares struggle a little bit during the second half of last season, the fact that there's an awful lot of clubs in for him kind of show that there is clearly a very talented player there, and I do believe there is. And I think alone, if Arsenal, like I said yesterday, if Arsenal can get cover for him, whether that be Lissandro Martinez over at Ajax, if they can get something like him, someone like him in, or cover for him, then I think Tavares would absolutely benefit from a proper loan spell. And I don't feel like it's the right time for Arsenal to cut their losses on him yet. And send him out on loan, see how he performs, and then bring him back and assess him next season. I think it'd be good for all parties if they could do that. But I can't unless Arsenal do get cover for Tavares. I think they have to keep him, because even if he's not entirely trusted, even if Tomiyasu is preferred to him as left back, you still want some sort of natural left-sided cover in the squad, especially with the extra demands this squad's going to have this season with the European competitions and everything like that. So I do feel like if Tavares can go, then he should, but I think cover is absolutely key to that. I know a lot of you will be asking about Jesus, Rafinha, but I've got nothing really to report on that today. Nothing's really moved on as far as I'm aware. I mean, I'm sure probably has behind the scenes, but as far as I'm aware, nothing really has moved on with that yet. Still think Jesus is obviously a lot closer than Rafinha, and it's just a case of trying to get this deal agreed. And at the time of talking at the moment, I don't believe a deal has been agreed with Manchester City yet, but fingers crossed it will be, because this one's been rumbling on a while, and I think we all want it resolved. And certainly with Arsenal due back on Monday, although it wouldn't be Jesus, it kind of just feels like once everyone's back and pre-season's starting to get underway properly and you start seeing friendlies, you want to have as many players as you can on board and in the building already. So hopefully Arsenal can really push forward and get this Jesus deal over the line now, and then focus on any other potential incomings for the remainder of the window. All right, everyone, that's it from me today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, please do have a very good Friday. Have a very good weekend as well. And keep up to date with everything that's going on by checking my social media and obviously goal.com as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day.